Well, this thing says I'm live. Hey everybody, look what I got here. Unfortunately, the mother's not making enough milk for it, so I'm having to feed it. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. But that's how big a miniature pinscher is. Whoops, when they're like 3 days old. Anybody ever wanted to know what a pocket puppy looks like? That's how big a miniature pinscher is when they're newborn. Let me put them up so I can. Well, I was sitting here watching the news, eating supper. I guess I ought to put the date in this video. It's June 1st, 2020. Don't need these on. I'm not reading. I'm going to make some predictions. And I'm going to let the news people know that it's not white supremacists that are causing all this. I know a couple of them. Well, granted, I can't say for a fact because I only know a couple. You know, the full-fledged ones. Right now, as far as I know, they're sitting back having a party. I told you so party. Because they're not going out looking to instigate stuff. They're sitting there. I mean, the black community right now is playing in to the stereotype of what the white supremacists say they're supposed to act like. In other words, the black community appears to be pooping in their own sandbox, you know. So, excuse me, it is supper time. And I'm surprised many of the churches haven't got hold of this right now because, you know, end time prophecy says, you know, in the end times, things are just going to be chaos. And I don't really blame the blacks because, you know, hey, the guy was caught live on video being you know, that's what cops do. And, hey, it's not just black folks. There's plenty of white folks get killed by cops too. You know, so it's not just you black folks that the cops are killing. It's more likely the poor folks. It's the poor. It doesn't matter what color you are. The poor folks, people that can't afford the big time lawyers and stuff. But anyway, this goes back to a dream or a vision, whatever you want to call it, I had. I think it's been a couple of years ago now, about me sitting in the chair and I saw a great dragon, you know, maybe a mile-long lizard going across my back field there. And by the time I got out on the porch, it was sitting there staring at me, you know, and hissing at me, saying, "There's nothing you can do. Things are already in the works." But I'm going to give you some what's fixing to happen next, because if everybody remembers, about a month ago, the toilet paper flu was, I think, more than 70%. I think that's what the president said. 70% of the people being affected with this Chinese toilet paper flu was blacks, people of color. So who's out there rioting right now? You know, all running around. So within a week or two from now, there's going to be another, how would you say, outbreak? And it's going to be spread mostly by these rioters, and it's going to, of course, there's going to be white folk get it too, but the majority of it's going to be the black man. And then they're going to blame it. Oh, this is all the white folks stuff. What I'd really like to see Mr. Trump do, there's nothing really he can do about all this because, like I say, the devil's been thrown down and loosed upon the earth. You know, China and, what was it, India, they're throwing rocks at each other. China's messing around, you know, taking over Hong Kong. The liberals, which are basically the Luciferians. I don't care what Pelosi says. She said, I'm a good church-going Christian. Yeah, right. You know what? Practicing Christians do not vote for baby killing. You know, hey, I'm pro-choice. Yeah, look at me. I'm pro-choice. Every woman out there has a right to keep their legs closed together and not be a slut. You have that right. So, you know, yeah, I'm pro-choice. You have the choice not to be a slut. But when you bring another human being into the world, nah, that person has rights too. Anyway, I'm not going to get onto that. What's fixing to happen next is, well, let's see, this rioting's been going on now, what, 3 or 4 days? So, yeah, the virus incubation period, within a week, let's see, this is June 1st, probably around the 6th or so, you're going to see those hospitals in the big cities have a influx of sick black folks. Oh, and I called it several days ago when I seen the helicopters and the people that were busting out windows and stuff. They were all dressed in black. Not black folk. They were white folks. Well, some of them were black. But they were white folks dressed in black. I called it being Antifa back then. And Antifa, if I'm not mistaken, they get a lot of their money from Soros. Mr. Trump, follow the money. Where are these groups getting their money? They couldn't afford to have such a large organization and travel. You know, people have to eat and sleep and, you know, have shelter. Who's providing all this for them? But these are just marketed things of the end times. I mean, this is all has to come to be passed. I believe, I forgot where it is in the Bible, but Jesus says, don't worry, these are all the birth pangs of the end. So, you know, the Bible said all this is going to happen. Don't worry about it. If y'all are still living in the city, well, I know I was called nuts for being a prepper, but, you know, who knows? Who knows? But this is just the beginning. And I did mention a couple of years ago, I think it was a live chat, or I mentioned several times years ago that I think it was 2018 when the stock market took this little dip, like a couple of thousand points, and everybody going, oh, here it comes, here comes the crash. I said, no, they're waiting for election year. All this stuff is happening right now in election year. Of all things, China is probably backing some of it because they don't want Trump back in there. They want Sleepy Joe in there. And I can't figure out how in the world the Democrats figure a guy with Alzheimer's or dementia is supposed to be president. So, anyway, this thing says I'm live. Let's see. 10 people. What else was I going to say? I wanted to make this a short video. I didn't want it to be... I got this tablet here, and it says I can do live shows now. So, for some reason, the computer won't work, but this tablet does live. So, that's my prophecy. Within... Okay, you know, let's say by the 5th or 6th, and, you know, I heard a girl, she's doing the rapture puzzle thing. She's saying something was going to happen right around now because Pentecost, we just had Pentecost. And I'm not saying it's going to be a rapture, but maybe wouldn't that be something? All this ruckus going on, and then poof, all the Christians disappear, or all practicing Christians go poof. Couldn't you imagine that? What would the news people would be jumping up and down saying hallelujah, because if Trump and Pence and all of them just poof disappeared, you know, Pompeo, what was that guy's name? all those practicing Christians that Trump has working for him. Ben Carson just poof disappear. That would be uh, that carpet muncher over there at MSNBC, that lesbian thing. Um, she'd be having a party. Yep, I think that's all I need to mention. That was my prediction that the corona is going to have a big outbreak, and it's going to hit the black community super hard. And oh yeah, the white racist, or no, the white supremacists, at least the two that I know, they're they're, they ain't saying civil war. They're saying more like, "Come and get me. I told you so." That's what all them are doing. They're sitting there. They're sitting back there on their pile of weapons, going, "Ah, we told you. We told you. This is how." You know, the black community is playing into that stereotype. They're here. They are, and then you've got the Antifa egging it on. They're instigating it. It's kind of like truck drivers do on CB radio. If somebody's getting mad, somebody else listening in will say, "Boy, I ain't gonna take that from him. I wouldn't take that from him, Ari driver. I'd whoop his ass." And then, the other guy, he'll get riled up, and if you let that person know that you're getting riled up, it's kind of like trolls before the internet. That's what the CB radio was. Before the internet, there were trolls. and, and if you let somebody know that you're getting irritated at something or at somebody, another driver come in and say, "You ain't gonna do nothing. You're chicken." You're chicken if you don't whoop his ass. It's just you'd have to be on the CB radio for it was doing that before the internet. So that's what Antifa and them's doing to the black community right now. So if y'all are out there listening, which I doubt y'all listen to me, y'all black folks are playing right into what these libtards want you to do. You're just doing exactly. You're being a little puppet right now. And these are Luciferians, really. These are antichrist people. They're actually they say they're pro-religion, but every religion except Christianity is what they are. So you're playing right into it. I mean, if you want to find out what's going to happen next, just pick up your Bible and go read it and listen to what Jesus said the end times is going to be like. What Paul and all of them said. Well, in the end times, it's going to be a ruckus. And hey, y'all folks playing right into it. It's like the storybook, open right on up. So let's see. Yep. So I made my prediction. This video is a thing. If it ain't by the it'll be within a couple of weeks that we're going to have another outbreak of this toilet paper flu. But this time it's going to hit mostly the black community, and it's going to be because of this nonsense. And I don't know, Bill Gates may be funding Antifa to get all the black people stirred up and riled up, so they'll be the ones out there getting sick. It could be one of them conspiracies, as you call it. I don't know nothing about that. I know it is the at the end times, Lucifer's turned loose on the planet, and you're seeing, the beginnings. It'll get a lot worse. It'll get worse, folks. Don't worry. There's more to come. So don't touch that dial. Stay tuned in to, the new virus. Everybody should be scared of it. I'm going to leave y'all with this thought. This new virus, it's 100% mortality rate. Everybody that gets it is going to die. And this new virus has a name. It's called life. That's right. Everybody that's ever born is going to die. 100% mortality rate. Let's see, how do I turn this thing off now? Well, let's see. There should be a way to turn it off. Push this button. No. No. Live. Push that button. No. Not that button. Well, this is sucks. How do you turn the chat off? Top live chat none. I don't know. Maybe I have to restart the computer. I'm not seeing no way to turn it off. Oh, what's that button? No, that just changes my camera around. That ain't it. Boom. Oh, here we go. Stop streaming. Okay. See y'all later.